Rahul Shrivastava is also with us, our National Affairs Editor. Rahul, this conversation that we were just having with Rajdeep about the ability of Shivakumar and Siddaramaiah to now work together, given all that they've said over the past 4 days against each other, not directly but quite indirectly, but very clear that there are two different camps. Now those two camps come to a cabinet meeting. Will they be practical and be able to work, or will this ultimately become Sachin Gehlot 2.0 and it's only a question of when, not if?
Rahul, I think it will depend on these two men. Over the last 3 days, I think they have sent across a message down till their last denominator, their cadres and supporters, that there is a bit of a competition between them. Now, that cadre and the leaders, will they be competing in the coming days? Will they hold constant show of strength against each other? Will they try to undermine each other? All that they have to decide and then send across a message to their cadres. Today, for example, Mr. DK Shivakumar's soundbite after the compromise formula was reached, and his body language wasn't actually sending a message that he's happy. His brother and several other senior leaders were saying that they are not very happy. I think that needs to be corrected. Once that is corrected, they need to work together and show to the cadres they are working together. Lok Sabha, as I have been saying, that will be a real test, because the BJP has been doing very well even when the BJP was not voted in the assembly. And if the BJP does well again, who takes the blame for it? So what we are talking about 2 years later may arrive much earlier. I think eventually the Congress has taken a big risk, because why I say that, it has not succeeded. This rotational element doesn't work, Rahul. The only last time I saw it working was when the PDP and the Congress were sharing power in Kashmir and Ghulam Nabi Azad became Chief Minister in 2005. Otherwise, it has not. Even if you see 2011 in Jammu Kashmir, the same state, Omar Abdullah was not ready for a rotational element. The congressmen have not been ready. I think to expect that Mr. Siddaramaiah will do a Garibaldi, pack his bags and leave the Chief Minister's office 2 years, I think then he will be known as a statesman in Congress politics, not a politician.
Nobody leaves the chair. Once they are sitting on the chair, they typically don't leave the chair. Will Siddaramaiah follow the same pattern? Will he be different? We will find out. I want to go across to Nalin Kohli from the Bharatiya Janata Party. It's been a very long time since the BJP has been edged out of the screen, and we've had Congress leaders take over for 4 straight days, and this is not something the modern day BJP is used to, and this is not something the modern day Congress is used to either. Nalin, welcome. What lesson has the Bharatiya Janata Party learned from the debacle of Karnataka? These results are far from what you would have expected or wanted or hoped for. What's the key lesson that you've learned, which you will try and implement to ensure that what happened in Bengaluru doesn't get repeated in Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, Chhattisgarh, Mizoram and Telangana?
So, thank you, Rahul, for that. We've been around a long time. You and I have been for several years on this side of the screen and that side of the screen. And I think one thing you or Rahul on your panel would appreciate, the BJP has always learned from its defeats. For us, if we have lost an election and if the people have voted for it, we respect that mandate. We accept that mandate because it's a democracy and people ultimately decide who will manage the government or run the government for the next period of time for which they vote. So therefore that is something with humility we accept, but I think as a party we always learn from our mistakes, and that's why the BJP is so formidable in being able to reach out to the people and so fortunate to get the blessings of the people in so many elections at every level, from the local to the state to the national. Now coming to the next issue, that if you look at the election results of Karnataka and its early days, it's fascinating to note that the BJP vote percentage broadly is almost identical to last time. There's a very small percentage difference. Secondly, during the election itself, when we were seeing opinion polls, it seemed to indicate that the leadership issue of Prime Minister Modi was substantially getting even over 8 to 10% over what was being projected as the vote for the state. So I think there are two less important messages here at the first instance. A, while the BJP's vote share has been good, the change of the vote dynamics on the other side, consolidation for the Congress and the collapse of other players, has worked against the BJP. But this also is a very good message that in terms of people saying that our government was terrible and the vote share and that the BJP would be ousted, the numbers are certainly against us, but the vote share doesn't speak the same language. And any psephologist would accept that. The third is, where it remains on Prime Minister Modi and his popularity, that's intact at a record high. There's no one there. Now let's come to the state elections. Again, we've all been there long enough. To extrapolate one state result to another is dangerous. Then if we have to go by that, then let's begin the year with the 3 state results where the BJP has done spectacularly well. Repeated itself in Tripura, in Meghalaya, retained the 2 seats and still incumbent. And in Nagaland, where I was the in charge of Prabhari, we have stayed with our 12 and continue in the government of Chief Minister Rio. Now, if we use that result, then would you say that the BJP nationally is changing and the Congress, which was down and out, getting 0 for the second time in Nagaland, getting 3 seats or 5 seats in Tripura, essentially, how do you read it? So state after state has a different story. So I would say that Karnataka is our loss. We will learn from it. If the Congress is hoping that this is the future for every election that follows, then they perhaps have a nice lesson to learn from Rajasthan, where the power arrangement has actually been a Mahabharat from day one between the 2 leaders.
So let me put that question to Mahima Singh.
To be believed,
Mahima
literally
Singh,
a Mahabharat between the supporters of the 2 leaders.
Sorted out the Mahabharat in Karnataka for the time being. Shivakumar and Siddaramaiah have agreed to work together at this moment. How do you hope to sort out the problem in Rajasthan, where Ashok Gehlot and Sachin Pilot's differences are getting deeper by the passing day? They're making more and more comments against each other. How do you hope to resolve that?
Good evening all. लहर दहलीज पर आई है जब से समंदर खौफ खाने लग गया है. You see, today as we stand united in Karnataka to stand up and to govern the state of Karnataka, the 6.5 crore Kannadigas, with utmost commitment and transparency. You ask me about the Mahabharata, which to us it doesn't exist, it has never existed. And if you were to talk about Rajasthan on a debate about Karnataka, then let's also talk about Manipur, please. And then and if the BJP is to talk about on whose face the South Gate has been slammed and hard, let us also talk about the vote share which has declined in the northeastern states. Nagaland, the BJP spokesperson was just talking about Nagaland. Let me say that their vote share has declined. Himachal Pradesh, they kept on saying that the gap is 0.9%.
It's wrong. 1 minute, sorry, I must correct that. You are way off, Mahima ji. Sorry, I don't interrupt, but that's an incorrect statement. Our vote share has gone up by 3%. No, it's not about the complete. You're wrong.
Involved in some of these northeastern elections.
You are entitled to your views, but not in
allow the Congress to at least.
Nalin was involved in some of those elections in the northeast.
I was there for a month.
Not some, 4 of them. 3% has gone up.
For a month.
You're wrong, ma'am. You're wrong.
Very well aware.
Google just now and check. Sorry, ma'am, you're wrong. Sorry, ma'am, you're not well aware, you're wrong. Check it. No, no, you get your facts right. Everything else is okay. You can have a view, but not an incorrect fact against me.
Is this how we conduct
a debate? Of course, but you can't, madam, come up with a wrong fact.
Okay, I can't have both guests speaking at the same time. Nalin, you made that interjection. Nalin, you made that interjection. Just leave it over there for the time being.
Of course I made it, but it's an incorrect fact. That's all.
Please allow me to complete.
Okay, let Mahima complete. Let Mahima complete.
Of course.
Sir, you are much more seasoned and a veteran. I expect that discipline and regard from you at least.
You have your right. Please
for a co-spokesperson. I never interjected, sir. Let me say that I was in Nagaland, day in, day out, we kept challenging, our senior leaders kept challenging the BJP for a debate on UCC.
No, can I just tell our viewers, I just checked this on our data intelligence dashboard. The BJP vote share in Nagaland has gone up. Between 2018 to now, the BJP vote share has gone up in Nagaland. So what you're saying is not factually correct. Okay, one second.
He just said Tripura. He just said Tripura.
You said Nagaland.
I am saying even Nagaland. I mean,
Madam, do your research, please. Okay, 1 second. I just checked. What you're making this point with so much bombast. What you're saying is not even factually correct. Just turn this down. I want to go. You said Nagaland. The point that you're making, Mahima, just do your research. Prepare harder. Okay, if you're going to come to India today, you want to be on the news track, prepare harder. Your facts are wrong.